All right, so we get to, if you have to tinkle, we don't get a break like we did yesterday. If you have to tinkle, you have to actually just go, either take us to the bathroom, just keep us on mute, or just be ready to go here. I have to switch the screen around a little bit.
Yes,
Tracy is right there looking as dapper as ever. Look at that man.
Come on.
Look at him. You look good, dude.
Thanks, man.
You look really good. I mean, I'm not like you look like shit before, but I'm just saying you look good. Like, did you hear people say that? Like, oh my gosh, you look so good. It's like,
Let me.
Wait. Do you have pants on?
There you go. I had to clean the camera off.
Okay, all right. Oh God, yeah. What happened to you? Wow. Should have left the camera the way it was. No.
Hang on.
You look fantastic.
There you go.
You look fantastic, dude. Thank you so much for being here. We're let me mute a few people so we don't
Hear them tinkling.
Get the feedback on. I put you and Fletch on today because Friday's call is clothing optional. So I have no idea what's going on from the waist down on anybody who's sitting here right now. So that just makes it more fun. Thank God Chris is clothed though, because they got the full body view on Chris. That would be very disturbing. So anyway, I digress. Thank you for being here, my friend. It's fantastic as always to see you. We're just going to go ahead. Let me, I think I am still, yep, I'll have to cut the video. That's no big deal. And we're ready to go, folks. This is, you all, I mean, I don't think either Fletcher or Tracy really need introductions in the last, which is why I also wanted them on Friday, because they're great back-to-back. I get to see them back-to-back when we're at Total Solution, but I also, it's two people that I like have the utmost love and respect for. And so, it's like, and again, I haven't gotten to see Tracy in like a lifetime because I didn't get to go to Total Solution this last time. So I could probably just cut you all out and just feel him for an hour and just talk to him and find out how life's going. But I won't do it. We'll keep going. We'll keep moving forward. Yeah, but I'm super excited that you're here. I love you. And I'm so thankful that you're here. So I'm just going to hand it over to you, Dr. Tracy Wilson, folks. Let's give him our virtual from afar claps, and then all you people who are hiding yourselves, maybe you could actually show your faces at some point throughout this talk. Again, if you have comments through, I'm going to try to do what I did last time, guys, and just kind of like drop in a little, what was your takeaway? I think it's good to just share those things, and then we'll do Q&A at the end, unless Tracy stimulates something that says, hey, does anybody have questions now? Then obviously we'll open it up then.
You know, I got some cool glasses too.
Oh man, I got those, and I think I got a pair just like yours.
There you go. See? I know. My brother from another mother right there. Well, hey, let's dive in. You know, I shot you a quick message. You talked about family practice. So we'll dive in. And one of the things that I'll start with, and I really feel like I should start with this. After 24 years, I had my first board complaint this week. All right. And it was because I quoted Chiropractic Boost Immunity. And I made a post in several forums. The Texas Board of Chiropractic Examiners, I have a guy on the board that's a friend of mine. He said there's 180 names on the list, 150 they're about to get a letter because they are posting about this. And here's the state board stance. So in Texas, let me back up a little bit. And I got humbled because I was a dick at first, and I was just like hammering in. And then he said, hey, listen to me on this. He goes, just let me walk you through a path we've been through. So for the last 2 years in Texas, the TMA opened up, we call Sunset, it opens up our law. And we've been battling the word nerve. And TMA wanted to take nerve out of our diagnosis. If it happened in Texas, it was about to happen everywhere. It's a really big freaking deal. And they've spent about $250,000 defending the word nerve remaining in chiropractic. And what they realized is legislation, laws, our precedent, insurance reimbursement, everything is based on one thing and nothing else. Double-blind controlled placebo studies. That's it. And if we don't have a double-blind placebo-controlled study, there is nobody listening to our words. So thank God, in a lot of ways, there are a lot of things that have told, that we have done research on that said there's nerve involvement in chiropractic. I can't even imagine if it was all joint, musculoskeletal kind of BS, right? But that's what TMA wanted to limit our license to, was musculoskeletal, muscle and joint, spine only. That's it, not even extremities. So our groups have dug and researched, and we spent a fortune defending the word nerve. So they are scared to death to open up something that says immunity, even though we all know it. Like, I've gotten 4 messages from the board that says, hey, we know what you're saying. We know all the papers you're quoted. We know that's what we do, but there are no double-blind, placebo-controlled studies. There's nothing. We cannot defend this in legislation. And the unfortunate thing of it is they made a public announcement, which means they just gave TMA the next shovel to dig the hole and shove us into. So, you know, we've got that fight coming. And so I've got messages in, and now I'm looking like an idiot because I'm like, hey guys, no, let's, here's what we need. We need $1 million. And Fletcher and I had this conversation at TS. We need $1 million for the study. Heidi can run the study. We have $100,000 right now, which gets us an algorithm to do it, but we need $1 million to run the study. So how you get $1,000 out of a chiropractor's pocket towards research, I don't know how you do it, but we need it. And we've got to figure this out. So a lot of work to do, Then the study takes 1.5 years, possibly 2. I mean, these things are just things that we should be doing in chiropractic anyway. But boy, if there's not a drive to do it now, there's a drive to do it anything. So this has taught us, and I know that you guys have been going over this. I meant to be on a little bit earlier. I have 5 businesses, and this changes. We just got mandated to close restaurants and CrossFit gyms, and boy, you talk about working your butt off for really nothing other than just to make changes. That's what we've been up to. Plus all the stuff with our chiros, plus making sure that we can employ, plus the fear of people losing their jobs, and then what's funny, I don't know if has this happened. Okay, they're all bad mamma jamma chiropractors on here. How many of you have found yourselves putting freaking hand sanitizer on when you know that you probably even shouldn't do that, right? But you're just like, you know, because you see other people do it, and I'm like, dadgummit, why am I doing that crap? Or you touch a cart and I actually wipe the handle down. I'm like, I'm buying the virus crap. And I got caught in the store the other day buying, you know, stuff, and my daughter goes, Dad, I think the virus went to your head. And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, you bought frozen pizzas. I said, we've got 4 kids home. Like I said, I don't want to make sure you guys have something to eat while we're gone. He goes, you never buy frozen pizza. You bought frozen pizza. So the virus got to my head. I bought freaking frozen pizza for my kids at home, right? So anyway, that's the intro to how to run a family practice. No, it's not. That's how to let fear get in your freaking head. So Troy told me he's been on your ass all week about, you know, just staying with your mindset, because that's what we got to do. We got to get our mindset right. So I just, you know, David finished with this thought, and I want to begin with this thought, with that long, whatever that, I didn't even do an intro. I don't know what that was. But maybe a disclaimer. But here's the thing. We can't talk community on social media and check your state laws. I'm just telling you, we got to do it. But here's what we can do. What we know and what we can prove is that there are 3 kinds of stresses: physical, chemical, and emotional. And right now, those all are hitting people. And that's a real thing. And we can measure it with scan technology. You just had a whole hour on what that looks like. So we can measure we can measure stress, we can look at stress, and that should be the cornerstone of all of our practice. And the key to a family wellness practice has always been the stress message is the center of your practice. So let me tell you what's happening right now. If your office is struggling, if your people are canceling, I hate to say it this way, but your message sucks. And probably not in this room, but in other rooms and other towns and other cities, that is the message. The message is it's freaking tough and people aren't coming in. The reason they're not coming in is because the message you've taught is a back and neck pain model. And right now, people are scared to death that their back and neck pain can wait because they don't know what's going to happen with their jobs. But I can tell you what, everyone's concerned right now. Everyone is stressed. Everyone needs us more than ever. And the model fits around this idea of 3 stresses: physical, chemical, and emotional stresses. And guess what? When your routine just gets, you know, just blown up like this, like just instant overnight blown up, it affects you. If you have multiple things and you affect it, I guarantee your digestion has changed. Maybe you don't know it, but if you just kind of think back to your bowel movements, you're like, I hadn't had a solid bowel movement in 3 days. Why? Because freaking stress running through my system, right? Trying to figure out how to keep my business together, my employees together, my CrossFit gym open, my drive-through, the standards, and you know, and every time somebody sneezes, you know, you're like looking at them like, what the hell, right? Have you guys heard the quote yet? Like it says that I used to cough to cover my fart, but now I fart to cover my cough. I mean, it's really real right now. So it's like you're healthier just to blow ass on somebody than you are just to cough on them. So it's just like, listen, has nothing to do with family practice either. That's just total side note. That's extra. So we're not charging you for that one. But here's the thing: if you keep stress the centerpiece of your message, right? If you keep stress the centerpiece of your message, then your practice right now is affected, but not that much affected. And more importantly, it's what your patients do. So here's what I'm asking you to look for. How many times, if you're able to stay open, I'm not sure where all of you are, but if you're able to still see people right now, the message is about stress. Even if you can't see people, the message is about stress. And so it's never about resources, but it's always about being resourceful and adapting. So we're talking this message in chiropractic about adaptability. You spent a lot of time looking at adaptability on what it looks like on HRV. And and because we know that in our world, because we know adaptability, here's the real thing that's happening right now. How fast and how hard are you working to adapt? That's the question at hand. Like, how fast and how hard are you looking to adapt what it is? And here's the adaptations, right? I mean, here's the immediate adaptations. Number one, as chiropractors, we're typically not that worried about virus and bugs. But because the society is and because fear is there, we do have to play along, and we do need to clean our tables in between people. They need to see us doing it. We do need to make sure, like I usually bump the hand sanitizer, nothing comes out, but I just go, and those things, right? But they, in their mind, see me doing something that they feel is important right now. And I despise the fact that we can do it, but we can't stand on the street corner with the sign and said viruses aren't real right now. Viruses are real, but here's what they need to know. Your immune system is more real. That your immune system is designed and ready for everything it is. This is the message of chiropractic, right? The maker didn't come and leave you with nobody behind, right? There's an innate intelligence that's running all the systems, and the triune of life is 100% of force, 100% of matter gives 100% of life. And so what we need to do is make sure that 100% of force is running through our people, and innate can express itself 100%, so that the adaptability of the body, because there's never been a time that the society's been asked to adapt at a greater pace. And so how do we stand in the gap and say, because you're having to adapt, because you're doing it, we have adapted for you so that you can keep adapting in your life. We know there's stress in your nervous system. We get it. And because of that, here's the things that we're doing in our practice right now. And listen, when David was talking about, I'm sure he's talked about how to clean this surface EMG in front of people. Like we got to do these things, but our patients, here's what we're hearing. And this is what makes me know we're on point with our message, is that this is helping you know who's got your message, by the way. When a patient comes in and goes, man, doc, thank you for being open. I knew I need to get adjusted. I don't know what's happened with my job, but I've been feeling my body just kind of run down, and I wanted to get in here and get boosted up. Then you've been teaching the right message. But if your patients are calling and saying, hey, we're just going to kind of cancel our appointment this week, we'll see you next week. Listen, I get it, but that fear has got them where they believe that the virus is more powerful than their body. And so it's a time to remind people that we're designed for this. And all viruses mutate, right? I mean, all viruses change over time. I'm not sure what the name of this one and why the fear monger is here, but here's what we know as chiropractors. Let's look at what we know. All right, like I'm literally going to play along with this flatten the curve, and we've got something that I'll just share with you. And if Troy wants to pass it to you guys, then great. But I'm creating putting the final touches on a program called Flatten the Curve Fit, and what that means is how do we help our people stay fit at home and stay stress-free at home, meditate at home, do yoga at home. And it's going to be an 8-week one-time purchase that they could do this fitness at home or anywhere, and we can support them in that. The key design is it's for chiropractors, and it's going to be an affiliate for 50%. So what it means is it's $70 program, and they can pipe in. But if someone can sell 100 of them, make $3,500, and their practice is down, that's what we want to do. But it's going to be a chiropractic message. It's going to be adaptability message. It's going to be how do we help you at home limit the stress in your life. And we're going to talk a little chiropractic on it. And for those that can stay open, we hope it promotes retention. We hope it promotes reactivation. We hope it does everything. And the reality is that we know flatten the curve is this. This is what we know. It's going to make the illness longer. Like the natural gap, the spike, and then come down is what they're scared of the spike. Even though H1N1 didn't collapse our system, with 60 million diagnoses and 12,000 deaths, and it did not collapse our system. I was doing triathlons at the height of H1N1. And I remember it so distinctly because I was in Dallas, Texas, doing a triathlon, and it was an international distance. And my seatmate, we had a double drop off because of we were swimming across the lake to the bike into the city, and then run downtown. So we had a couple transition areas. And when I'm riding the bus, and the lady next to me, my lady behind us, is hacking up a lung. And so I tell the lady next to us, I'm like, hey, how the hell is she gonna do this race? Like she doesn't see, sounds terrible. And she's like, I don't know. She goes, but I'm a head nurse at the hospital, and I would have to diagnose her with H1N1. I said, you'd have to? She goes, yeah, we're diagnosing anybody that just has a cough, because the more diagnosis we can get, the faster the vaccine can get to market. And that's what she said to me. And I was like, holy crap, I never even thought about this. But in this whole, so it's not, that didn't collapse our system. But if you look at the agenda behind it now, where they're pulling red tape, as Trump said yesterday, they're pulling red tape so they can push a vaccine. I mean, people, and this is what one of my employees just told me. Well, people are scared because there's not a treatment, there's not a vaccine. So, well, here's what I know, because people don't trust their body. That what they don't know is they have something inside of them. What David just said, we have no idea how powerful we are. I think some of us do have an idea. And the trouble is, how do we speak that language in this time, in this season, so people can hear it? And I believe the message is through the stress in the nervous system. And that stress in the nervous system is allowing people to lose adaptability. And so the chiropractic adjustment, there's just never been a time that's been easier and better and more productive to speak sorry, I had something pop across my screen and it made it like shrink. Holy moly. Let me get this straightened out here, because otherwise I can't even focus. Huh, what happened? Okay, that's it. I don't know what happened. You guys, I can't see anybody on my screen anymore. Is it still normal, Troy? Okay, good. All right.
Yeah,
so I'm gonna keep going. I don't know what happened to my screen, but it just like shrunk down to a little box. So the side of it is that there's just never been a better time to speak this message that says we are chiropractors and stress is the centerpiece of what we handle, and stress affects your body. And even if you have to say it in a musculoskeletal, guess what I can do? I can say it in a musculoskeletal. I can say, listen, what happens when you get stressed? You grab your neck. What happens when you get stressed? You grab your low back. And yeah, you feel it in that muscular tension. But below that muscular tension is the nervous system. And that nervous system is where you live your life. And that nervous system on Gray's Anatomy, page 4, says that your nervous system controls and regulates all functions and all systems of your body. So we know that there's an inseparable part of your nervous system to your immune system. And so what we are here to do is to support your nervous system in this time of stress and let your body express and adapt and expand as it can only do when it's free from interference. We don't need to add a lot of things to our body, but what we need to do is make sure we remove interference. And so we're here for you to remove that interference on a regular basis. We are taking all precautions that we can, following CDC guidelines, yada, 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 so that we can deliver this message to you, right? I mean, that's the centerpiece of what we do. So what a time to do it. And I think when this comes out and fear begins to drop, and I'm really hoping that we see this in a couple weeks, right? That we see this trend down. We know what's going to happen. We know we're going to see numbers like, I think Texas right now is 300 people. We know by the end of the weekend it'll be 1,000, just because everyone's running to get tested, right? But here's what we also know. How many of you, and I've had this too, how many of you have had patients that have had some kind of sickness since January, and they've got it tested, it's not the flu, and yet they're like, maybe it was the corona. But guess what? That patient got over it in a handful of days, a handful of moments, and they're doing just fine, right? So the reality is, what is going on is just this fear. And so here's the other side of this. In this world that we're in now, I think the greatest thing we can do is speak a message of positive. It doesn't always have to be educational, but just say something that will inspire them. Like, and a lot of people are starting, to really get engaged in their Facebook, but I would make it a point to do a Facebook Live every day and do anything to say, and here's the quote I'll give you that I'm saying, in a time where we're told to stay apart, I'm doing everything I can to keep us together. That's the message I'm saying. And so in a place of this, we're, just like Troy's doing for you guys, he said it's a great opportunity. It is. But beyond a great opportunity, it's a point that even if he was supposed to be live and we would have had to come to this, the point would be, in a time we're told to stay apart, there's never been a more important time to stay together. And so as your chiropractor, I just want to be here for you. I want to remind you today to breathe. I want to remind you today to take time to meditate. Last night we played Scrabble with our family. We hadn't pulled Scrabble out for forever. Why? Because we're too damn exhausted. We're too frustrated. We're all these things, right? But let me tell you, Scrabble with wine, listen, you make up some great words, man. And so we had a great time last night doing it. We realized we have failed miserably with our kids. They know no words. And so we are rethinking our whole parenting plan, but that's a whole nother thought. We have time to do that, right? So, but reality, here's what's funny. My kids have become my best employees. So we brought them in the store. The kids are going to help us tonight, hand out equipment to our gym owners, our gym members. So we're loaning them equipment in lieu of a membership, and we're going to do a Facebook Live every day with the workouts. Like, all of us have to adapt. We have to adapt in some form or fashion. And I think it's just a message, if people are worried about finances, you should have been thinking about finances 6 months ago. I've talked to a dentist friend of mine. He said, listen, I don't know how you guys are, but I know that we could go a couple months without having to get a check. And I'm like, yeah, we're fine. Why? Is because we've been fine for a while. We've thought this thing through. We didn't think Corona through, but we thought, let's make sure that we're always fine if something happens. Like, rainy days are going to happen. And this is a rainy day. This is a rainy month. And it's going to change our landscape. But I think if we can still stay in the message of this, and our legislations allow us to, you can still earn. I would bet the average office is going to be down 60 to 80% on a regular basis, just because of the fear that's out there. But I can tell you this: I would rather earn 80% than earn 0%. So we're going to have to make some changes. We had to make some changes in our hours. I'm sure you guys did as well. We made an elderly hour where people can, if they want to come in and come in on a certain time, they can do that. We've tightened up our other hours. We've spread out patients so that we, instead of the massive cluster booking that we've always worked at, because that's what we've been doing for years, right? Like, it's the thing you taught, like at Parker. That was the very first thing I ever learned at Parker, and then I've never stopped quoting it. Cluster your people so they see a busy. No one wants to pull up to a restaurant and see an empty parking lot because they think it's a crappy restaurant. Well, right now everybody wants to pull up to an empty restaurant and think they're the only one that's going to eat there. That's what they want. So the world has changed, and so we must too. It's not going to be long term, it's going to be short term. And the key is how fast can we adapt? So I love the adaption message, because everyone's having to adapt. And so if we can hang in that, we can do it. Here's the other thing. Simply put, family practices are built because you ask. That's it. There's no other way to say this, but I can tell, like, it's not one of those things. And I remember one time I was listening to a speaker at Parker, and I was maybe in my first year of a practice or something. I mean, it wasn't long. He's like, you got to ask for your referrals. You guys remember this? Ask for referrals. And you're like, all right, well, that's kind of weird. Like, just look at Mary and go, Mary, you want to refer your friends to me? Right? And that's just kind of weird. And Mary's like, what? I don't want to refer anybody to you. And you're like, so the funny thing is that it's not that way. It's not, don't make chiropractic weird, right? So it's not about asking in that way. But here's the thing, Mary, did I ever tell you about the power of the nervous system for your daughter? I know you come in here, but we haven't started her. And I'm just concerned that maybe somewhere along the line, our message got lost of how powerful it is for her to get adjusted, especially in this time of stress. And that's asking for the referral. That's giving Mary an opportunity to bring them in. And whether, we are not taking, we're not moving all of our consultations to Zoom, because we do scans, and unless Fletcher has figured out how to do some crazy scanning from a distance, I don't think you can scan over Zoom. So we are not scanning over Zoom. And so we're still doing our live consults. We're still meeting with people. All we've asked, and the only thing that I think is it's not a requirement yet, but I think we got to think about it, because being a leader, let me teach you something that I think all of us know, but just in case we forgot. Leaders anticipate. That's the key. Like, leaders see around corners so that others don't get surprised. So for us, as our practice, the key for us is to be a leader, to not only be a thought leader in your community, which may get squashed by our state legislation, we don't know that, but to be a thought promoter, to be a leader, is to think around corners for people. Like, what is coming next? What is coming a week from now? So, we saw this happening. I did two things. I have a restaurant, so I double ordered all of our toilet paper. We doubled ordered all of our beef. We double ordered all of our chicken. And not only do we now prepare for the restaurant, but we're prepared to help people. If all hell does break loose, we can help people and offer them something. So like today, we have a soup and salad special, and it's stupid, but you get a roll of toilet paper if you come by. Like, it's just something we're going to do. Why? Because we've got it, and it's something there, but we're news hacking something that's there, and we're doing it. I don't think you should give a roll of toilet paper away from adjustment, but hey, if you want to, go for it. It's just some way of what's coming around the corner, and how do you think now about what's coming around the corner? I don't think toilet paper is going to be the crisis 2 weeks from now. So what is going to be the crisis? What is going to be the challenge? What is going to be the opportunity? If I'm thinking out loud with you now without putting a ton of thought into it, I think people are going to be cabin feverish. I think they're going to want to get out. I think they're going to want to connect. I think they're going to want to do more with this. I think they're going to see think this trends are going to start to do it. There's going to be one of two things happen. If it trends hard, where more and more people get the illness, the fear is going to be greater than ever, and they're going to need something rational in their mind. If we start to see things level off and do it, and let people take credit where they take credit, but we then welcome them back with open arms, with a lot of hugs and a lot of high fives and a whole lot of connection that we're unable to do right now, because that is what's coming out of this, right? And so we're going to miss the things we can't do now. I think people, just like we all are going to miss what we're missing out on. And so the things that we've taken for granted, we're going to start to love again. The creativity we find inside of ourselves is going to be something that's brilliant. But I know this, to build a family wellness practice, it's a lot of times, it's just asking. So here's a fun thought. When is the last time you've been able to take time to work on your business? Like right now, if you're down visits and you're down, say 20%, you've got time. You've got time margin. How you spend that time will determine what comes out of this. If you spend that time searching the media, getting more pictures of COVID, reading more studies, posting more stuff about, oh my gosh, and dramatic and conspiracy theories and what's going to happen, trying to predict what the political turn in this is. We know what the political turn is going to be. You know what's going to be? One's going to take all the credit, one's going to push all the blame. That's what's going to happen. So be done with it, right? That's what's going to happen. You and I's opinion means nothing. The voice leader needs to be concerned highly with how we help our people adapt to this. And what is our role in helping people adapt? And so if we can keep that message strong, then I think you can come out of this thing and have a bigger practice than you had before, have a bigger promotion than you've ever had before, and stand in a gap where people can say, thank you for reminding me. Thank you for reminding me how powerful my system is. Thank you for reminding me that some days I just need to breathe. Thank you for reminding me that my exercise matters, that my self matters. Thank you for reminding me that, because guess what? I'm reminding our patients to get off the stinking news too, right? I'm reminding them to turn that crap off and get off the news so that they can get focused on what it is. And it just takes a bit of a reminder. And so as we remind our people, that is, you can drip that message in and of asking mom, asking Mary, when's the last time you got your kid checked? And when's the last time their adaptability needs to be boosted? And then all those parents that have adaptability, you know, you're seeing the kids, but the parents aren't getting adjusted. That's the case. Now, if we look around corners, and I'm not speaking doom and gloom, but if we look around corners, another thing that is possible, right, is it is possible people could be financially really hurt by this. It could be something that people are, it's a real thing that's going to affect families. We don't know jobs. We don't know anything. And so one thing that we're just thinking about that could possibly happen is people could want their care plans back. They could want to stop care. The thing that we're trying to do right now more than ever is give more value. It's how do you give more value? How do you push better input? How do you just stay there and stay strong for your people? But I can tell you a quiet, mousy, scared voice will promote that inside your people. So we just want to remain strong for our people. We want to remain, I mean, they came to you because they thought you were a great leader. They'll stay with you because they think you're a great leader. 99% of our people here in Texas believe this is going to be a very, very short period of time, and we're going to be back at it. The reality of it is, some people, the reports are telling us it could be 6 to 10 weeks that we're in this state we're in right now. So the truth of it is either way, like, you got to plan for the worst and hope for the best. But as a leader, planning is a part of what we have to do. We have to plan. And it's not to think in negative terms, it's to think of what could possibly happen down the road and what would my response be? And what if this happened? What if all of a sudden, because here's two wild responses. Okay, let me give you two wild responses. And we're ready for both these, but I'm going to give them to you in my 3 businesses. Ready? Number 1, and let's go to the CrossFit gym. Everybody quits. Hold your membership. For 10 weeks, they're not going to pay me not to come, right? So what am I going to do? That's a thought. It's not what I hope, but I'm going to plan for it. I'm going to plan for it, and I'm going to contact the people like, what about my rent? What about this? And what about that? What can I control in it? How long can I burn in that business for that? The nutrition store. What if nobody comes, right? Now, the good thing of it is our food sales have gone down, our nutrition sales have gone up. So how did we adapt? We ordered everything we could order that boosts immune system. We ordered $10,000 worth of stuff, and everybody else is trying to save money. We're spending deep pockets. I was negotiating 1,000 pounds of beef the other day just to retail it inside of our store because we are in Texas and people like their beef and there's no beef on the shelf. And so how do we get that? We just have to look around it, and we're trying to anticipate what might happen. In chiropractic, what if the governor signs something tomorrow that says chiropractic is one of the most powerful things you can do to help do it? Sure, wash your hands, sure, avoid. But what if that happens? Are we prepared for it? Well, I don't want to let my team go. I want to be prepared that all 3 docs can be busier than we've ever been. We're making sure we're cleaning everything just the right way so that we don't get tagged in this stuff. We're making sure our employees stay healthy and ready just in case that happens. But guess what? What if they shut us down and say we can't do anything? Well, what's my plan for that? How long can I take care of our people? How long can I pay salaries? Am I going to do that? Am I not going to do that? So as a time right now, as a leader, your mind has worked harder than it's ever worked. Like last night, I walked in, literally, I'm not saying this is a good thing, right? This is probably not how you should handle it, but I walked straight in, I walked straight to the fridge. First thing, I didn't hug my wife, I didn't say hi to my kids, and I got a beer. And then I carried it in, then I hugged my wife, and I carried it in, and she goes, "That kind of day." And I said, "That kind of day," right? Because I was just exhausted from that. I mean, it was just one of those days where it's like, all right, most of the time, that can wait or not do it. I'm not saying that's a good solution. I'm just telling you that was the way that day ended. It's rare that ever happens, but it was just one of those days like, yep, I have never worked harder and done so little in what is normally my production. But we had to think, and we had to plan, and I had to write documents, and I had to communicate, and I had to email, and I had to really direct a path of what it is. And then I had to think, okay, if people are stuck in their homes, how do I serve them? How do I add value? How do I connect with them? How do I help them if I can't adjust them? And so how do you help mom and dad if you can't adjust them? What other resources do you have? What other tools do you have? How do you let them in on your life a little bit so they can feel like they're still connected to you, right? I just talked with a doctor yesterday who is doing a daily, like they're saying, "Hey guys, this is me waking up. I'm about to make a smoothie. I want to share with you because if you're at home and you have a chance to get to the store and you're looking for something that's going to help your immune system, let me show you how I do it here at the house and just how to make a smoothie." Not my cup of tea, but for her, I looked at the video and it was awesome. And I looked at the viewership, unreal. Because what is everybody doing? Sitting looking at their phones. And so she's connecting in a high way, and all of her patients are going, "Thanks, doc. I really needed this today. I've been so stressed out. I've been looking for something, and this is perfect. I'm going to go get the things today so I can have these in case we're stuck here for the next 2 weeks." But what did she think about? She was planning to say, "Hey, if you need something for the next couple of weeks, here's your menu list." She posted the menu. She posted a thing. What is it? It's just serving your audience in a different way. And it's just letting them into your life a little bit differently than you were before. But that's adaptability. So how do you adapt a little bit? Lastly, as I said, it's how we shape our experiences inside of our office. Our experiences inside of our office are always family wellness based. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, has that not gotten challenged. We've closed our toy room. Our kids are like, "What the hell?" Right? I mean, they don't understand it, but their parents have looked at the toys. And even though we were cleaning them all day, even though we posted some fun videos, even though my team did a TikTok where everything got touched, they went across and wiped and just had fun with the process, right? Fun is one of our top culture values in my office. If we can't have fun, I don't want to do it. And so, but at the same time, we got to be inspirational in what we do. And so as our top culture values, by the way, if you don't have culture values, this is a great time to redefine your culture. This is a great time for you to educate your people. Is your team freaking out for the COVID virus? Are they going, "Oh, I work at a chiropractor. This is the freaking best place in the world to work," right? Now I get it, but this is really testing people. What do they really think about it? And it's helping you know what kind of culture you've set inside your practice. Because I guarantee if you've got a team that's divided in their understanding of the culture you're creating for your people, then I can tell you this, you're not going to be a very effective team any season of your life. So this allows you time to think and said, have I taught my people the right thing? And are they the right culture fit for me? And is this the right culture fit for them? You're going to learn a lot in the next couple of weeks. And the reality of it is that we want to create experiences. So this is a chance for you to say, hey, when all of this blows away and we can hug and laugh and touch, and we can have, like, we always have a fruit station. We always have a fruit station. We pulled our fruit station down. And it's just one of those things where now we have to, we can individually bag up oranges for you. Like, that's freaking cool, right? But in the reality of it is, it's where people are in the side of not co-sharing possible germs. And so we still have a coffee pot out every day, but we just have wipes by it so they can wipe the handle if they want to. It's just thinking through what could be our possibility. But more importantly, it's saying, when this thing blows over, how am I going to come out stronger with better systems, better supports, better angles? Like, maybe you don't have a fruit station. Maybe you want to add one at the end of this and say, hey, here's our healthy brain snack area. Bring your kids after school. Because the reason of it is, kids get out of school, guess what? We're the first stop. And we have parents racing to get here, right? They want to get here. And what do the kids want after school? Want a freaking snack. So what do we give them? A freaking snack, right? We give them, we have fruit, and we have little coffees and teas and waters, and it's always out for them. And that station is always stacked for them. Now, don't start something you can't continue. It's hard. One of your team have to own that. We've pulled that back. We've closed the room. We've stopped, we're giving the whole elbow bump versus the hugs, right? And I had one lady, she goes, Doc, you know how chiropractic works. Get over here and give me a hug. Now I went over and gave her a big hug, right? And the thing of it is, I'm not going to be scared to, but I'm not going to impose myself on it either. We're going to have to take this as straight up as we can. And so I think it's a time for us to evaluate, what systems do you have in your office? What procedures do you have? Meaning, if some of you are taking insurances, let me give you the greatest buzzkill for family wellness practice ever, right? And I don't know if you are or not, but I'm going to tell you, just in case you have friends that are, you can pass it to them. If the very first thing that you ask for is their insurance card, you will never be a big family practice, because you are literally saying, what we care most about in this office is getting paid, and we're getting paid by your provider. So our relationship with your provider is the most important thing for us. So could we get that insurance card from you? See, if you do insurance, it should be the last thing you ask about, because they're not there because of the insurance connection. They're there because somebody connected them with you. And so it should always be about the connection and always be about the person. And then, oh, hi, by the way, Mary, here's how our office finances work, and here's how this is. And if you do or you don't, we don't take insurance. I'm checking the clock here, Troy, so I'll go over on you. We don't take insurance. So in the reality of it is, we don't worry about that. It doesn't even come up. And if that's their very first question, it's our qualifier whether we're going to continue the conversation or not, right? And if they stay that that's the most important part, we have 3 names right by the phone that we send them to. And we send probably 10 new patients away every week who that's their focus, but it's not our game. So in the reality of it is making sure that you choose the right people so that those people refer the right people is another part of a family wellness practice, because you literally have to make sure it's the people you want to take care of. And I think some chiropractors are like, I'll take care of anybody, whatever you got, right? I heard one guy said, oh, the angle in on this deal is to call your hospitals and tell them that we'll take all their back pain cases so they can keep their beds open for COVID patients. Well, shit, if you want that, go for it, buddy. I'm sure there's a great need for it, but that's just not the game I want to play. And could I meet some nice people? Could I help them in a time of crisis? Possible. And I'm not saying that it's a bad idea. It's just not the game that I want to play. What I want to do is speak to my tribe, because my tribe's going to make sure and push that message. What I found, more importantly, is I've done 2 posts. One of them, I'll pull it up here, just so I'm speaking some truth. How the hell do you get your profile? There you go. I know how to get to everybody else's profile. I can get to mine. Here we go. All right, here we go. All right. So I did something. I said this. I said, what's one word that you describe how you feel? I just put that on my page, right? Not even on my practice page, my page. 59 comments. People going crazy over it. This one, look at this. I had, I said, get adjusted, eat clean, drink plenty of water, sleep, get some exercise, keep it simple. PS, turn off the news. 300 likes, 15 comments, 33 shares. I looked at the share basis. Yeah, it's Kairos, but there's also patients on there. People are just looking for something positive, and they're never been happier to share our message with their friends and family. So if you'll give them something worth sharing and not controversial and not self-righteous and not crazy, we just got to be smart during this time. It doesn't have to be like chiropractic is going to save humanity kind of thing. It just has to be, I'm here for you. I'm not going anywhere. We're strong. We're ready. We're resilient.
Tracy was in tears. Her dad just bought her a new string for her guitar. She put it on and it broke again.
Say what now? Was that to me? Was that a question? No? There was somebody just playing a guitar in the background? Sorry.
Someone just got a new string for the guitar. Is what I heard.
I was like, awesome.
I guess music stars are essential caregivers. So
Hey, do you know, do you remember, Troy, do you remember the old toolbox kits, right? And this is like from the old Heidi Farrell days, right? And you had the toolbox, and I'm sitting here thinking, okay, how do I make guitar string? That's bad. You strangle yourself with it. Put down the guitar string. like that's not a good teaching tool. But remember, you had all the little tools in it that you'd give people when they come back. See, that would have to go away right now.
yep, can do it.
So I'll tell you what's funny, and this was what happened. We were sitting at our front desk the other day, and I saw a lady walk up and was hesitant to grab one of our little numbers that keeps them in order in the back. And so just being aware, I saw it, and I said, and I just reached over and I grabbed a cleaning thing, and I said, hey, don't worry, the green ones have already been cleaned, but I'm just about to do the red ones. And so she goes, oh, thank you. You know what's funny? She goes, I spent the whole drive here thinking, do y'all clean these? Because I know everybody grabs one. And I said, oh yeah. And so I'm grabbing one and I'm kind of wiping it. I don't know if they clean them or not yet, but it was one of those things like, all right, we're going to make sure we clean it. So that's what started the video, which started the fun, which did the TikTok, which on our page has gotten crazy levels of hit because people are just home looking for something to entertain them, you know? And so I would say, you know, those are some steps. And Troy, I don't have a whole lot else. I could ramble on for a little bit, but I want to leave some time for some questions, some thoughts. The great news is nobody can throw any tomatoes at me today. So that's good. So any questions?
I would say they can, but they just have to clean up their own mess. Like you don't get hit. So it's like, this is the best way to do a talk, right? Anybody have any questions?
Anyone? Thoughts?
Comments or shares?
Let's see. We've seen several right low quadrant lately. Oh, that's all that. I'm looking at the
Yep, we go down. We had leaders anticipate so others don't become surprised at a time where you are trying to stay apart. This message is to bring us together. Leaders anticipate problems that are around the corner. And I mean, I'll point everyone's attention. I don't say this to impress anyone, but just to impress upon you, you know, what I personally have been sharing for you guys over the course of the last, like every day. You got in your inboxes last night, the phase 1 of 4 phases. Why? Because when this happened, I immediately went to the place that said, okay, if this goes on for 2 weeks or 4 weeks or 8 weeks, what is it that every person here can be working on to make sure that when their office, if you get shut down, that when your office opens, boom, you're back in and you're running. And if you're able to keep adjusting, what can you do to stay focused and keep running? And again, I'm not saying this to like, hey, look at what I did. I'm just saying like, that's where my mind went to. You can't sit in a corner and suck your thumb too long here. You have to, everybody's probably had their moment where they've sat back and some people have had some tears, other people sit in a corner and like, what the hell's going on? But at the end of the day, you got to get back in the game and you got to do it immediately. Because if you're sitting and you're waiting to see what happens and you're not doing work on yourself and you're not doing stuff that Tracy's talked about and Fletcher's talked about and Michael talked about and Nick talked about and what I've been sending you guys all week, if you're not working on this stuff, then like think about your consciousness. Your consciousness is in place of scarcity and poverty consciousness, and you're just going to see more of the dominoes fall, so to speak, as opposed to if you put yourself in a place of abundance and that leader. And again, if you go out and you're doing the videos that we've talked about, you go out and do videos for people, and you're talking to them about like. So I did a video yesterday. I saw a guy giving away free sanitizers and stuff. Like I turned the car back around and I had to drive back over to see what this guy was doing. And he had a table set up in front of his house. So I just did a video on kindness and like, hey, what can you do to be kind to a neighbor or something like that? Like there's so many things that we can do right now. And I had to video it. Like I just had to get out and video it. I thought it was so cool. So it's like, just think of that shift in where your energy goes. And all of a sudden when this is over, and it will be, then you're going to have to get back in the game, and they're going to get back in the game bigger and better and stronger than you are right now, or you're going to get back in the game and you're going to feel like you're drowning. And then it's going to take you months to recover from that. And anybody who knows that we went through the tornado last year and we went through the flooded basement last year, I've told some of you, like Leah and I felt like we had PTSD last summer. I don't know what it's like, and this is not to take away from any of our service people who've gone through it. Like we felt like we had PTSD. It was really rough to recover from that because it was like a near-death experience. And it was really rough to recover from it. Now I look at it and it's like, well, God was just preparing me for other challenges in life. So you have to access the other challenges that God has put before you in life. And what did you do to get through those things, and use those things now to propel yourself through what's going on right now. But now is not a time of retreat. Now is a time to move forward. Now is a time to actually be stronger in every possible way in your life, in your relationships, in your business. Sorry, Tracy.
No. It's perfect. I'm going to answer your question. Aaron asked, what are some other my values? So I penciled them out here. Fun is our top. Fun is the top. And I just, Troy knows, like what he said when he opened this, that he and I could have acted like you guys weren't here. You would have been highly entertained.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not sure you'd have got much value, but you'd have been highly entertained, because Troy and I can literally fart away an entire morning of laughter and have no purpose at all. I mean, because we both love fun. So fun has got to be a part of it. Excellence. So I want fun, but I want it in the light of being excellent. I don't want perfection, but I want it excellent. And I want that excellence in their attendance to our office. I want their excellence in their timing at the office. I want their excellence in their performance at the office. And I just want them to desire to be excellent. That's it. And I've got a team member right now that's not being excellent. And because they're not being excellent and they're choosing not to be, this has given me a perfect time to have a deeper conversation and go, hey, in a time of change, you understand that you're the first that we're not going to keep on board if this isn't where you want to go. And so I'm not going to keep you on payroll just to keep doing half-assed stuff. And so the other one is champion. I think excellent is one thing, but champion's another. Champions, what I know, find a way to win in situations that others don't. They have something about them. It's not a superstar. I'm not asking someone to have a red S in themselves, but I'm asking them to desire to be a champion. And what that means is that everybody quotes a Tom Brady, or everybody quotes a Bill Belichick. Everybody quotes it. But there's a reason that those people do it. There's a reason Nick Saban is at the top on a regular basis. There's a reason these guys are there. And they're not just there once and leave. They're there for a long period of time. And so the idea of being a champion is this side of what am I willing to do? And most of the time, championship has just got discipline. They've just got disciplined lives, and they do things on a disciplined level. But you see it throughout their life, right? You just see it throughout their life. Now, there are a handful of people that are mad people, right? They're just mad in one area. They're really, really good, and they're really good in their business, and their personal relationship is crap, or they're really, really good. So I just want them to be a champion in all areas of life. And I tell them, my culture in our office will help you have the best championship in your life. So part of my team meetings, how to be a champion. That is in your finances, that is in your marriage, that is in your kids, that is in parenting. And I pour into them for that, because I just believe it's a core value for us. Love. I want the centerpiece to be love. I want love. And to me, love is agape love, what I teach our people. And that is a sacrificial giving of love, of giving of yourself, and not thinking of yourself first. And so we teach them that. Something I teach in my discipleship classes is that we teach this side of love. And I will say probably one of the most proud things that happens in my life is not my accolades. It's not, in fact, here's what happened. The guy that saved me from getting the letter from the board, this is what he said to me. My wife was in the car, and she teared up, right? She doesn't get to hear a lot of this, but when I get introduced to giving a talk and they say, here's a guy that loves people, here's a guy that's authentic, here's a guy that loves to serve. I hear that, and I'm like, all right, I'm on track. I'm on purpose. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, because that's what I set out to do. I want to love hard, and like Troy was saying, I mean, I didn't order toilet paper to squander toilet paper. I ordered toilet paper because people have squandered it, and I'm going to give it back. And so tomorrow morning, I've invited our team that aren't employed that much right now. And we're trying to help them. Like our CrossFit gym had to shut down. So I've invited my coaches to come in small groups with clean hands and bag up 3 rolls of toilet paper, a couple bananas, and a couple oranges. And tomorrow morning in our drive-through for 2 hours, we're doing nothing but handing out supplies to people who need them. That's it. And so it's just this side of serving with nothing more than a note that says, we love you, we wish you well, we're always here for you. That's it. And there's nothing more than that's what we're trying to do today. So it cost me about $450 to get all the supplies and get all the stuff. And we're going to go hand them out, right? We're just going to love on people in the way that we can in today's world. And so love is a centerpiece. And if people aren't loving people and they don't have that, in other words, let me put the other term of love, selfish. And so I just don't love I don't hire selfish people. And yeah, Matthew, it's general public. We posted to, actually we posted to elderly that if you are elderly or in need, and meaning like you're on your last square kind of thing, stop by. We got some extra paper for you, right? And we have no idea. Like it could be freaking pandemonium where, which is why my CrossFit coaches are going to be there because they're like bad mamma jamma people. And it could be not, but here's the good thing of this. Our doors will be locked. So we're just going to move them through the drive-thru and just hand it out the drive-thru. So we got a big thing of trash bags. We're going to put it in there, tape it off, out the door it goes with a note in it. That's it. Nothing more. And so we 2 hours of that. And then we're going to open up and and in there it happens to be that we're going to be serving coffee and lunch after that. And we're inviting them back to do that if they so choose to. So sure, have a little business strategy in there. Absolutely. But it's the side of the other side of it. Are they going to know that we're a chiropractic office and a CrossFit gym and stuff? Absolutely. The thank yous are coming from all of them. Could it be a good marketing tool? Don't know. But I'm going to love people through it. And at the same time, maybe give them a reason to realize who in this world loved them when no one else was doing it, right? Instead of me fighting in the aisle for the last piece of toilet paper, we're giving it to them just out of the fact that the kindness of our hearts. So that's what we're doing to make a difference in the world. So last one is consistency. I always want to write the note innovation. I'm attracted to the word innovation. I'm attracted to this innovation, but the reality of it is I'm so addicted to consistency. It's ridiculous. And in my office, like I'm so inconsistent in so many areas of my life that is the peace of mind that my brain needs. So I have very planned times where I have no plans. And that's where my brain can chill. But with the times in my office, it's consistent. So right now, my stress is because consistency just got blown up. Cluster booking just got blown up. I'm having to deviate from my normal hours. My meditation to myself is enjoy the pause from this. Enjoy innovating. Enjoy this because my brain always wants to innovate something new, right? And I would be, and Troy and I, we've laughed and spoke from some platforms so many times together. And we laugh like chiropractors are the worst at hearing the system and run home, putting it in their practice without thinking 1 second about how is this going to affect my consistency? And is this line up with who I am? Is this line up with what the things I want to put out to the world? Like, where's it at kind of thing? And so they're changing their systems all the time. And their people are like, they don't even know what they're getting next week. And so their practices are all over and they attract people that are all over and they do this. So I personally want consistency out of my team. I want to be able to deliver consistency for them. Like they consistently want to get a paycheck. I'm pretty sure that's in their core value. And so I consistently want to make a profit. I consistently want to be on time, which for me is actually pretty damn hard. Just because I am I'm an over optimistic person. I think I can get like so much stuff done in an hour and I really should have planned for one thing. And so, but like I'll take a phone, I'll be like, oh yeah, I'll do that. Oh yeah, 8 o'clock. So Troy, I know I drove Troy crazy because he's like mapped into his stuff, and I think I'd probably sent him like, I don't know, 5 or 6 messages like, what time, Troy? And just because I had so much changing in my life so fast, I was like, Troy, what time? Because I was supposed to be in California today. I was supposed to be speaking at an event in California, and I was going to be in a hotel room doing this and then rushing over to the event. So that changed. And so this was then I'm like, okay, did Troy change? So, oh man, you guys know Jack Wolfson, Dr. Jack Wolfson? I love that guy. He just messaged me. This is the thing. Everything cool down there? Like, that guy's a freaking awesome cardiologist, paleocardiologist. Got a chance to meet him, become good friends. And it's just nice that, hey, look, people just checking in on you. I don't know why he's checking on me. I don't know what he's heard so far. Probably thinks I'm in chiro gel, but it's fun just to get checked in on, right? So what would that mean if you did that to some of your patients? You got time. So and if you don't have time, you spoke the right message and you're crushing it. So I know that here in a minute, I've got some people that we're gonna go through. We got a power hour of people that's coming through. The docs have been working through the morning. I've been hearing the tables go while I'm here with you guys. So any last questions, last thoughts? Troy, your camera blurred on you. Your autofocus, there you go. Your autofocus got you. That's those. Do you find that's a problem with those external cameras? I threw mine in the trash because they freaking autofocus.
Every once in a while, but for the most part, it does its work in making me look just fantastic. So
There you go.
I
feel like I should do this just for a second, though. I mean, just to.
Everyone thinks we're brothers anyway. So
Yeah.
put the glasses on, and we sort of like. Are there? He said, Brian said, Tracy, yours actually it did. His did the same. I saw that too. So your camera did the same. We probably have the
Oh,
same
I think
one.
it must be the glasses then.
I don't know. It might be tuned in there. Anybody have any questions that you can think of right now? No questions, no comments. All right, I'm going to make a few comments here, but if you have to go, Trace, thank you so much for being here. Love you and appreciate you, and keep up the good work down there. And if you need anything, let me know, dude.
Yeah, I'll do my best to stay out of Cairo jail. How's that?
Yeah, please do.
Well,
Much more
there's a
effective
side of me
out
that
here.
wants to go to Cairo jail. Like, there's a side of me that's not. How far should I push this? Like, people went to jail for this, but then the other side is like, I can't really help many people if I keep.
Can't help many people if you're in there. Yeah.
So there's a side. My aggressive side. Well, my aggressive side, I know who turned me in. He's a little punk, and so my aggressive side is I wanted to go CrossFit style. Put a 12 size shoe up his rear end. But then I just realized, he's just a small thinker, small practice, sitting in a town, bored off his mind, and this is the best thinking. So then I turned my mind back to one of my core values of love, just tried to love him. And so there is, this is terrible. I'm gonna say this. You're recording this, but you'll probably have to edit this one out. There's a website where you can send somebody a 5-ounce chocolate penis. And it's a joke, and it literally, you open the box and it says "eat a dick," and it's a joke for Valentine's, right? And so it's a total spoof. Like, you can totally spoof people with this thing, and it comes anonymous. That's what's cool.
So I guess Tracy will put that link down below before he goes to adjust everyone, just so in case you want that.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna send him some chocolate, just out of pure love.
I love you. I love you.
I love you.
Oh,
Enjoy.
dear God.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right. And on that note.
So if you guys know what you're all getting from Troy next year.
Valentine's Day, hell, Easter. It's right around the corner.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my God.
Easter. That's a little irreverent, but I'll just wait. But who knows?
I was thinking chocolate. All right. Thanks, dude. Love you, man. Take care. All right, folks. So just a couple. Good God. Now jelly beans and it's just gone down the wrong. It's gone down the wrong place. So anyway, my friends, look, here's the thing. Just a couple of things. And I sent this out in a text to our people last night. I think it's super, super important. He just talked about, made that last minute comment about going to jail. But I want everybody to remember, like, if you were in your office this week, you were against the grain, you were a part of history. You're a part of history. While everybody else is shutting down, while people are closing their doors, you are literally a part of history. What's happening right now in our country, you are a part of history. It's a part that I think we all forget about, is that, like, this is something that it will be in books someday. What is happening right now?